Hi, I'm Craig Powers, and you're looking live at the ASUG News studio on the SBOC showroom floor. And today I am joined by Todd Borchert of Cognylitics and Jerome Faltracco of SAP. And we're going to talk about predictive analysis. And today, to open the keynote, we had Paul Phipps, one of our ASUG board members, on, and he said for his business, predictive analysis is the holy grail, and that seems where everything is going right now. And so what I want, you guys both, you're always working with predictive analysis. I wanted to kind of get, what's your definition of predictive analysis?
Well, predictive analysis is really, it's been a term that's been around for a long time. And it's really all about taking your historical data and being able to find those trends and use those trends and patterns that are in that data to really predict and forecast out what's going to happen next, what's going to happen in 3-6 months down the road. So it's really how you're using all these algorithms to be able to understand those trends and then forecast out what's going to happen next.
Yeah, what it seems like you're using new tools on old stuff, really, the stuff we've always had, but we couldn't really do anything with it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're using new tools that make it much more accessible than what it traditionally has been. Traditionally, doing these types of analyses would take PhD level statisticians and a lot of data manipulation to make it work. Whereas now with these newer solutions that are out there, SAP Predictive Analysis being one of them, it makes it much more accessible and easier to work with the data.
Oh yeah, yeah, go ahead.
And Todd mentioned historical data, and he's absolutely right. But more and more, what we're seeing is that the historical data might be a minute old or an hour old, and so it's using the historical data from last week or last month, plus the latest that is coming at us at high velocity, and being able to make sense out of it to use and take a quick action with it. So,
yeah, and so I'll start with you, Jerome, on this. So, what are some examples that you've dealt with where how customers are maximizing the value of their predictive analysis already?
So, if we had 2 hours, we could go through the use cases. The good news is that there are some areas where quick wins can be had with significant impact on the bottom line. Biggest concern for a lot of companies, whether telcos, banks, financial services organizations, is how do I keep my high yield customers from going to the competition? How do I not only keep them, but then make them happier than they've ever been? So customer retention, customer churn, as Todd would call it, is a huge issue. Other companies, it's commodity hedge pricing. Prices of commodities go up and down. Being able to get a better handle on that is hugely valuable for organizations. We can talk about predictive maintenance. When is my next big major asset going to require maintenance, and how can I get a handle on that before it becomes too costly or before it just shuts down my business? So lots of areas. Yeah. Todd, I know.
Well, and I'd add with the predictive maintenance too, it's both sides. It's not only am I maintaining it too much, am I spending too much money on maintenance, versus am I optimizing my spend on maintenance and really catching it before it gets to be a problem. But also not maintaining it too much. And the other thing I'd add is there's a lot of information or a lot of different use cases around the customer lifecycle loyalty. We've talked a little bit about on the churn side, but also the acquisition, cross-sell, upsell, those types of applications across multiple types of industries, from retail to insurance to to business types of applications, a lot of different applications for it.
That's right. Customer-centric analytics is hugely important. If you don't know your customer, you don't know what they will need next, what their purchasing pattern has been, and they will not be as satisfied as they would if you knew them much better. So it's retention, it's hedging, it's predictive maintenance, it's a complete understanding of your customer, so they're no longer strangers, and you don't wonder after the fact why they're no longer your customers.
Yeah, to that point, Steve Lucas today had a demo for eBay where what I believe his quote was finding a product for one in a sea of many, something like that, where eBay you're trying to just find one product for that person when there's millions of products on eBay that you could find. So that's and obviously we'd be remiss. You're from SAP, so I think it's required by law that we talk about HANA. So where does HANA fit in with now SAP's predictive analysis strategy?
So HANA is everywhere, and it will be leveraged more and more by SAP's and SAP's customers. So predictive analysis and HANA are marriage made in heaven. The two together are incredibly powerful to give you the velocity that you would need from your analysis instead of strictly looking at historical data, bringing the new information that might steer you in a different direction. SAP Predictive Analysis can run on its own, but it's really, it takes a completely new dimension on top of HANA, looking at bigger data sets and faster data coming at you. Absolutely. So like demand forecasting, for example, that's another big use case. Big traditional use case. Demand forecasting is a use case that a lot of industries care about very, very deeply. And in some cases, like in the case of eBay, that demand forecasting needs to be fine-tuned at the speed of thought. And so a combination of these two technologies is really the only thing out there today that enables it.
And Todd, so you're at Cognylitics, you're helping people with predictive analytics. And so how does a company maybe get started in this field, a company that hasn't been doing it before?
Well, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, call me, and I'll help you out. But the first thing is to realize it's not as scary as everybody kind of wants to try to make it, and that's what these solutions are there for, is to really make it accessible by a lot of different folks. We will come in and help folks be able to understand like what the training needs are of their staff, what is the infrastructure they need to be able to do it. But at the end of the day, it's really about the business knowledge that you have and the questions that you have that you really want to start asking, instead of, what happened, and, to a certain extent, even why did it happen? It's like, well, what can happen next? And it's really answering those questions, and asking those questions and answering those questions that we can really, you can really drive your business. Because ultimately what you want to do is try to optimize your systems with these advanced analytical techniques, and be able to use the solutions to really optimize your business. And it's having that business knowledge is really one of the first places to start, and then start looking forward of, okay, what if I could predict that, how could I use that? And that's really what we're there to help people do.
And what Cognylitics can do to help also is help you prioritize which use cases, which problems to target first, right? If you're new at a particular topic, you don't want to go after the biggest, most complicated use case out there. You want a quick win that you can turn around quickly and build upon that knowledge, both the knowledge of your people, the sponsorship of your executives. So that's something we can do, is help figure out in what sequence should you tackle predictive, and establish a roadmap for you to grow your success, personal and corporate success.
Exactly. And the big news today, the announcement in the keynote was SAP adding another piece to its predictive analytics offerings, and so the intent to acquire KXEN, the advanced analytics company. So how does that now fit in with SAP and predictive analysis?
Want to take that? Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's really exciting. First of all, it confirms the commitment that SAP has and that Steve Lucas has to that space. Advanced analytics was a big front and center part of his messaging around global BI, agile, and advanced analytics. It just confirms, first of all, the market potential that we see, that SAP is a serious player, and that we are extending our suite, making it, creating an advanced analytics suite of applications rather than pushing out a single tool to address all things advanced analytics. So it's a confirmation of his commitment and this company's commitment to that sector, and our customers' hunger and thirst for these types of advanced capabilities.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think it really does round out the offering that SAP has now with this acquisition, and it will really, I see really good things going forward with it.
It's great, and well, thank you for coming on, and it was nice having you, and it'll be interesting to see where things go now with that extra piece in there. And thanks for watching, and be sure to stay with asugnews.com for more videos and interviews and analysis of all things SAP. Thank you, and I'm sorry. Thank you.